What's up, YouTube? I hope each and every one of you guys are healthy and enjoying life today. In today's video, I'm going to be reviewing the 2024 Chevy Silverado RST. Huge thank you to Duane Ferguson over at Koons, Tysons, Chevy, Buick, GMC for allowing me to do this video for you guys today. If you are interested in this particular Silverado RST or any GM product with the exception of Cadillac, I'll be sure to have Duane's information on screen as well as in the description box down below. But with that said, let's get into the video. All right, well, like usual, first we're going to talk about the exterior and the performance. So like I said, this is a 2024 Chevy Silverado RST, and this particular one has been painted in black. That is literally the color code for this vehicle, black. A couple things that I wanted to preface this video with, a couple things that have been tweaked to the Silverado for the 2024 model year. Basically, for 2024, you get a couple new color options as well as the optional blackout package, and with the 6.2 liter V8 you now get an active valved exhaust system, so it's a little bit louder when you put it in sport mode. There are a couple other things, but those are just the big ones that I wanted you guys to know about at the beginning of this video. So as standard with the RST, you get LED reflector headlights with IntelliBeam, as well as LED daytime running lights, LED turn signals, and LED fog lights. Now, taking a step back, let's take in the entire front end of the RST. I love the way that the RST looks. It is definitely the most sporty looking Silverado trim level in my personal opinion. I think a lot of you will agree with that. But basically, let's talk about what makes the RST the RST. So, taking a look at the front end, you can see you get a gloss black front grille with two body color grille bars. So basically, you can see the grille bar here and the grille bar up top. Those are body color. So let's say you get this vehicle in Summit White, for example. This trim piece up top here and then this trim piece here, I call those the grille bars. Those are body color. The rest of the grille, again, is gloss black. No matter if you get this in blue, white, green, doesn't matter. This here and this here will always be gloss black. And then you also get a black bow tie emblem as well with the RST. But now, coming down just a little bit, you also get a body color front bumper. You can see the bumper is just a little bit dirty. I didn't have time to run it through the wash. It was about to run out of gas. Anyways, those are my excuses in today's video. You also get two recovery hooks also painted in black. One right there, one right there. So if you take this thing off-road, you get stuck, you do have those two frame mounted recovery hooks that you can connect a strap to get pulled out. And then you also get 8 inches of ground clearance with the RST as well. A couple other things that I wanted to point out is that just beneath your headlights as well as your daytime running lights, you get these satin black trim pieces right here, and then you also get some venting. I'm not sure if you can see, but basically you can see the daylight peeking through there. Basically that is to redirect air around the outside of the vehicle to hopefully get better fuel economy because of better aerodynamics. I'm not an engineer, I'm a YouTuber, but that is what that is for, I presume. But anyways, coming down the side, you get this chrome Silverado lettering right up top here. This is what it looks like, your suspension looks like, excuse me, down underneath there. There's a closer view of that. And then stepping back, these are the standard wheels that you get with the RST, and they are an 18-inch bright silver painted wheel wrapped in 265/65 Michelin Primacy LTX tires. I'll show you a view of the tread pattern on these tires here real quick. That is what it looks like. And then if you're like me and you don't necessarily love the way that these standard wheels look, thankfully you have 11 other wheel options to choose from on the RST between, I believe it's 18 to 22 inch wheels. So if you really want to ball out, get the 22s in black. That would make this vehicle look just that much better in my opinion. But also, as standard with the RST, you get gloss black mirror caps, and they are heated. The driver's side mirror does get a fisheye mirror just to help you see your blind spot just a little bit better. And then they are also manual folding. That is what that looks like right there. And then that kind of about does it for our side view mirrors. However, if let's say you wanted blind spot monitoring, right, you could get the optional $990 safety package, which would give you the blind spot monitoring, which kind of leads me into my next point. There are literally only two options on this particular RST, one being the engine, the other one being these black assist steps. So two options you might want to look into getting if you're looking at an RST and you don't want to spend a whole boatload of money. basically these two options are going to run you about $2,900, and to get one you do have to get the other option. So in order to get the safety package, you do have to opt for the convenience package too. But basically between those two options, a couple options within those two options that I wanted to basically highlight is that you would get a 360-degree view camera system. You would also get forward-facing sensors, you get rear view sensors, you get the blind spot monitoring, as well as everything else you can read on screen right now. Just thought I might point that out. If you're looking to, you know, up the premium feelingness, up the safety features, up what this vehicle is like, those are two options you might want to look into getting without totally breaking the bank. So I thought I might point that out to you who are interested. Now let's do a little side profile shot of this thing here. That is what it looks like. You can see above where the driver sits is where you will find your satin black shark fin antenna. You also get black window trim as well as body color door handles with keyless access. Just keep in mind the keyless access function is only on your front two door handles. The rear two door handles do not get that keyless access function. And like I just mentioned just a little bit ago, this vehicle has been optioned with the $795 black assist steps. Here's what they look like. Personally, for me, this would be an option that I would skip, but if you're older and you have a hard time getting in and out of vehicles, these definitely do make it a little bit easier to step in and out of this truck with. And then you also get these mud guards behind all four of your wheels and tires. They are satin black. Now, coming back down the side, you get a capless filler neck behind your fuel door right here. That is what it looks like. 87 octane is totally fine. Then up top here, you have your third brake light. You also get your LED cargo lights up top there. You do also get a rear window defroster. However, you may be able to tell no power sliding rear window. If you wanted the power sliding rear window, you would have to look into the convenience package too. But 4x4 decals there. You get your leaf springs as well as your shocks down underneath there. There's kind of a view of what that looks like down in there. You also get a fully boxed frame. Now here's a rear 3/4 shot of this thing. You do get also LED taillights as standard, which is definitely very nice. Taking a look at our tailgate, you get the Chevrolet embossed into the tailgate, chrome Silverado lettering. Then you get your RST badging on the lower right hand side of your tailgate. And then taking a look up top here, you can see there's no physical tailgate release. That is because you have to press that button right there in order to get the tailgate to release. Then this right here is basically a puddle light to illuminate this area at night when you're walking up to the vehicle. And then you also do get a backup camera right there as well. Now again, if you wanted to open up the tailgate, you'd press that button right there, and you may notice you do get a dampened tailgate. This tailgate not only is dampened, but it's also an easy lift tailgate, so it makes it, you know, a little bit easier for, you know, those people who have a hard time lifting up heavy things. It's very, very easy to open up this tailgate, or to close this tailgate, excuse me. Very, very light. And then you also get 3 tie-down hooks in each corner here. LED cargo lights do come standard, as well as a 120 volt outlet that you will find on the passenger side of your bed. I think I mentioned this, but I'm gonna mention this again. 3 tie-down hooks in each corner for a total of 12. And that's kind of about it for what we got going on back here. I don't believe you get a spray and bed liner as standard with this vehicle, but this vehicle does have a spray and bed liner, so I'm not 100% sure on that. But you can see the material between here and here is different, the spray and bed liner. So I do think that might be a dealer installed item there, but not 100% sure on that. Let me know if that is in the comments down below, because it doesn't say anywhere that this comes standard with a spray and bed liner, so I just wanted to point that out. And then, excuse me, coming around to the back end, you do get a body color corner step rear bumper, so you will find these steps on both sides of the rear bumper. That makes it a little bit easier to step in and out of the bed. If you wanted to grab something real quick, you just step right there, grab onto here and pull up, and then you can reach that item. Again, the corner step just makes it a little bit easier to do those kinds of things. And then you get a 4 and 7 pin connector just to the left of your license plate, 4 pin connector on top, 7 pin connector on the bottom, and then to the right of your license plate. If you open this thing up, basically you would take the physical key out of your key fob, stick it in there, and then that will give you access to your spare tire, which you will find down underneath here. You also have your trailer hitch here. A couple other things that I want to mention while we were back here is that you do get a 323 rear axle ratio. It is an auto locking rear differential, by the way. You also get a single speed transfer case, meaning you only get 4-wheel drive high. You do not get 4-wheel drive low. And then a couple specs that are, you know, specific to this particular vehicle. The max payload capacity of this particular RST is 1,883 pounds, and then the max tow capacity is 9,300 pounds. And that kind of about does it for the exterior of the RST. Now I'm going to walk you around it, and I want you to let me know what you think of the styling of this vehicle. Obviously, you know, the styling has been around for a few years at this point, but in my opinion, I still think it looks good. I think the RST, in my opinion, for me, would be the Silverado that I would get. It is my favorite trim level. I think it looks the best. I think you can make it look the best by optioning some 22-inch wheels, and then you can also pretty much get, you know, all the options you could want on the RST trim level. Let me know which trim level of the Silverado is your favorite in the comments down below. But with that stuff out of the way, let's move into performance. Popping open that hood reveals the optional $1,595 5.3 liter V8 that makes 355 horsepower and 383 pound-feet of torque. It is mated to a 10-speed automatic transmission for a 0 to 60 time in roughly 7 seconds. And if you were wondering about fuel economy, you can achieve 15 miles per gallon in the city, 19 miles per gallon on the highway for 17 miles per gallon combined with four-wheel drive. A couple things that are nice about the RST trim level in particular is that you can choose between all of the engine options. So you can either get the Turbo Max, which is the 2.7 liter turbo 4-cylinder. You can get the 5.3 liter V8. You can get the 3 liter Duramax, and then you can also get the 6.2 liter V8. So very, very nice. And that is one of the other reasons I really like the RST. You can get any of the power plant options that you want, depending on how much you want to spend. But if you're enjoying the video so far today, please be sure to give this video a big thumbs up. Please hit that subscribe button. I'm on my journey to 100,000 subscribers, and I cannot get there without your support. I put a lot of time and I put a lot of effort into making these videos, so I'd really appreciate it if you would just take 1 second, give it a thumbs up, leave a comment in the comment section down below. The likes and comments look very good for my channel in the YouTube algorithm, and that kind of stuff helps my channel grow. So please do that. I would really, really appreciate it. But with that stuff out of the way, let's move into the interior. Moving on into the interior, like I mentioned earlier in the video, you do get keyless access. So all you have to do is have your key fob in your pocket, walk up to the vehicle, press on this button right here, and the vehicle will unlock. You can also lock the vehicle by pressing that very same button. Now the vehicle is locked. I did want to walk you through a couple of the functions on the key fob. So you do have your unlock and your lock functions. That button right there is to drop your tailgate. Then you have your panic function and your remote start function. If you wanted to remote start the vehicle, you have to lock it and then press this button twice. The vehicle will fire up. And that is what it sounds like when it fires up. But let's say you remote start the vehicle and you were going to go for a drive, but then you're like, hey, I just got a call, I got a meeting, yada, 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 and you can't go for that drive. If you wanted to turn the vehicle back off after you remote started it, you just press that button twice again, and the vehicle will turn right back off. The engine's warm, so you don't have to worry about that. But now let's take a look at the interior. This is what the interior looks like. This one does not have the center console. That does come at an additional charge. I'll get into that here in a minute. But this is the jet black cloth interior. So with that in mind, let's take a look at our door panel. Up top here, you get that vinyl wrapping. Then you get some faux wood grain trim. You get a satin chrome trim piece underneath that. Then you get a satin chrome door handle. You have your unlock and your lock functions. Power side view mirror controls. That is to restrict your passenger window privileges. Automatic up and down driver window. All the other windows are automatic down only. You get a nicely padded armrest, some accent colored stitching, a good amount of miscellaneous storage space at the bottom of your door panel, and you also get a speaker. Then you get this brushed aluminum door sill. This is what the layout is here at the front. So as standard with this vehicle, you do get a 10-way power adjustable driver's seat with power lumbar, and those are your seat controls down there. So this vehicle has been optioned with the 5.3. The 2.7 liter turbo 4-cylinder comes standard. So this is the 5.3 without the precision shift. So if you wanted the center console and you're on like the GM website, to get the center console, it's called the 5.3 liter with the precision shift. So essentially what that means is you get the center console, you get the shifter like right about there on the center console rather than the column mounted shifter, and then that also gives you paddle shifters. But with that in mind, let's take a look at what we got going on here in the interior. Again, this vehicle doesn't really have any options besides the engine and these side steps here on the side. Other than that, there are no options on this vehicle. So in my comments, I've had a few people asking, hey, can you do vehicles that don't really have any options. And that is what I'm doing here today. Because I know a lot of the other YouTubers do like fully loaded vehicles. Well, I try to do, you know, the base models, mid, and the loaded up, so you can kind of get a range of, you know, what to expect with these different vehicles. So coming over to here, that is to engage your electronic parking brake. This is to put you into 4-wheel drive automatic. Like I mentioned earlier in the video, this does have a single speed transfer case, so you only get 4-wheel drive high and 2-wheel drive high. You do not get 4-wheel drive low. Coming down just a little bit, that is your drive mode selector. But I guess before I get into that, I do want to start the vehicle up. So like I said, you get keyless access. That means you get push button start. Just push your foot down on the brake, key fob in the interior, and push to start. And that is what it sounds like when you fire this thing up. So coming back down to here, like I said, this is your drive mode selector. So you have 4 or 5 different drive modes. You have normal mode, twisting that to the right puts you into sport mode, twisting that to the right again. Then you have your off-road mode, your terrain mode, and then if you press that right there, that is going to put you into your tow haul mode, and it lets you know what drive mode you are in on that side of the screen. I'll get into that here in a second, but I'm gonna put us back into normal mode. Coming over to here, that is to engage your jellyfish launcher. No, I'm just kidding. That is to turn your LED cargo lighting on or off. These 2 buttons right here are to brighten and or dim your gauge cluster, as well as your backlit buttons. And then this is your headlight control knob. So right now we're in headlights automatic. That is daytime running lights on, also known as your parking lights on. And then all the way to the right is headlights in the always on position. Pressing on that button is to turn your fog lights on or off. I like to leave it in automatic. I think this vehicle does a good job of turning the lights on when need be, as well as off when need be. Flipping this thing down gives you access into your manual tilting and telescoping steering wheel, so you can bring the steering wheel towards you, you can push the steering wheel away from you, and then you can also move the steering wheel up and down until you find your comfortable position. So it goes down, goes up, quite a bit of adjustability there. And then once you're comfortable, lock it back into position, and that is that. Now moving on from there, let's take a listen to our turn signal. That is what the turn signal sounds like on this vehicle. So not only is this your turn signal control stock, you see this button here on the end, that is to turn your IntelliBeam on or off. IntelliBeam is your automatic high beams. This is also your windshield wiper control stock. And then if you press that button right there, that is going to wash the windshield. Now, moving on from there, you do get a leather wrapped steering wheel. The steering wheel is also heated, and this is your heated steering wheel button right there. And just like any other steering wheel, you have your horn at the center. So let's take a listen to the horn. That is what the horn sounds like on the Silverado. Now, walking you throughout the controls on the steering wheel, behind this side of the steering wheel, you have your tuning control. So again, behind this side of the steering wheel, you have your tuning controls. And then behind this side of the steering wheel, you have your volume control. So that is what those two do right there. And then moving on from there, here are your cruise control settings. You do not get adaptive cruise control as standard. And then this is your gap adjust. So with the RST as standard, you do get like forward collision warning and stuff like that. So basically this button right here is to adjust the sensitivity for your forward collision warning / automatic emergency braking system. So that is like your least or most sensitive. That is your least sensitive, so you have 3 levels with that. And then coming over to here, this is to pick up on a phone call as well as speak to the vehicle. This is to hang up on a phone call. This scroll knob right here, as well as these 2 controls here, are to control your 12.3-inch digital gauge cluster. I'll get into that here in a second because I do want to mention this before we get into that. You get a column mounted shifter as standard with this vehicle, and then these are to upshift and or downshift the transmission. But now, let's take a look at our gauge cluster. So right now, I believe this is probably classic layout mode. So you have a couple different modes you can put the screen in. But basically on the left, you have your speedometer, as well as right now it's displaying your compass. You can change what the compass is. You can change it to some other things. And then over here, you have your tachometer, also known as your RPM gauge. That's letting you know what drive mode you're in at the moment. You can also change that as well. Up top here, it's letting us know who is buckled and who is not. That is the cruise control stuff, letting us know that cruise control is ready. And then that is your electronic parking brake engaged. This is letting you know, or this is your digital speedometer readout. Then you got your coolant temperature gauge, your fuel range, and your fuel gauge is down here. Now again, to scroll what we see right here, you have the scroll knobs right now. You can see your drive summary stuff, trip 1, trip 2, timer, tire pressure. Again, I'm just scrolling down on this. Then you have your driver assistance stuff, your oil life, your brake pad life, your air filter life, blank page, info page options, and back to our speed. Clicking over to the right brings you into, I'm gonna go into demo mode, otherwise it's not gonna show me, your radio and media stuff. Then you have your compass. Clicking over to the right, you get your phone. Clicking over one more time to the right, you have your information again. But we can go into display layout. So right now, again, like I said, we are in classic. This is going to be progressive. You can see how the speedometer and the tachometer kind of switched. Then you go into your digital screen. This is what the digital screen looks like. It gets rid of the analog and the analog speedometer and the analog tachometer. And then clean is basically just your digital speedometer readout. But we're gonna go back into classic. And I wanna show you something, because if you go into this, you can see the left side info highlights, the right side info highlights, and then the lower gauges also highlight. So like I mentioned, you can click on that, and then you can change that from a compass into your time and your temperature, or your tire pressure stuff, fuel economy stuff. See how it's changing? So you can switch between any of these different things here, and you can put that over there. Same thing on this side as well. So if I scroll down into right side information, then you can go into the compass, all of these different things, all of those different things. And then going back, you can also switch what you see down here. So right now this is medium information. This is maximum information. So you can now see, I think that's oil pressure. And then that is your battery voltage stuff. This is medium. Then this is minimum. So you can see, you can kind of adjust the screen exactly how you want it to be, and that is something I really like about this vehicle. It's very customizable for your digital gauge cluster. But now, moving on from there, up top here, you have some storage space. You can set some pens, a tape measure, maybe a phone, something like that. And then coming down, again, this is standard, and this is your 13.4-inch infotainment system with wireless Apple CarPlay and wireless Android Auto connectivity. So on the left-hand side of the screen, you have your different shortcuts. So this is like your Hey Google thing up top here. So if you say Hey Google, it will also pick it up. Okay, it's not doing it at the moment. But anyways, this is like your Google Assistant. And then this is your trailer information. This is your phone stuff, navigation stuff, audio stuff, and your home button. So this is basically your home screen. So you get your audio stuff, your map stuff, your phone stuff, your camera stuff, your Google Assistant, Play Store, wireless Apple CarPlay, and wireless Android Auto tabs right there. Then you have your trailer light stuff. You can bring your climate control throughout this screen up top here. I'm going to turn it on so you can see what it looks like there for a second. Turn that back off so it doesn't mess with the audio. And then this is also a Wi-Fi hotspot capable vehicle. So this does have a hotspot, so you can connect your computer, your phone, your iPad, so on and so forth. That is a very useful system. And then you have your Amazon Alexa built in. My Chevrolet, you can set service appointments. Then you have your Google Podcasts and your Google News stuff down there. Then ambient exterior temperature, you have your clock over there, and then this is your split screen setup. This is your map stuff, audio stuff, and then you can also have a clock over there. And that kind of about does it for this screen. I don't want to spend too much time on this screen, but this is a very intuitive screen here. It's very easy to use. And one thing that I like, you get that button on the screen for the home button, but then you also get a physical home button down here. You have a physical volume control knob there. And then over here, you have all of these different buttons. So this is a blank button. This is your lane keep assist button, auto stop start on or off button. That is to drop your tailgate, your hazard button, traction control on or off button. And then this button right here is to roll down all of your windows. So if I press that, all the interior windows will roll down. However, this button only rolls the windows down. It does not roll the windows back up, which in my opinion, I think was kind of a mistake. I think Chevy should have, had this button roll the windows up and down. But because of that, basically you have to come over to here and you have to roll all the windows up yourself, which, not really that big of a deal, but they could have made this go up and down. But anyways, sorry, I've got my allergies acting up just a little bit right now for some reason. This is your push button start button. One thing I really like about this vehicle is not only can you control the climate throughout the screen, you also have a physical climate control stack down here. And then this does come standard with dual zone climate. You can see the temperatures displayed on the temperature control knobs down there. That is something that I also really like. You can see all of your climate controls down there. As standard with this vehicle, you get heated front seats with 3 levels of adjustability. But one thing that's interesting about GM vehicles is that you can either heat your back or you can heat your back and your butt. Again, both of those get 3 levels of adjustability, as you may be able to tell. And then over here, USB-A port, a USB-C port. Pressing on this button is going to pop open your upper glove box. I'd say you could probably fit 10 to 12 sausage McMuffins up top there. Then you get some wood trim, you get some satin chrome trim, you get a lockable lower glove box. Decent amount of storage space in that glove box. You can fit your owner's manual, as well as maybe some napkins, some straws, some snacks, some forks, some knives. So good amount of storage space down in there, especially considering you also get an upper glove box as well. Something that I definitely like. Then OPU panel on the A-pillar for the driver. OPU panel on the A-pillar for the front passenger. Standard rear view mirror. Then up top here, you get your OnStar stuff. This lets you know if your passenger airbag is on or off. Driver and passenger both get LED lights. This button right here is whether you want the lights to turn on or not when you open up the doors. And then this is your instant dome light on button. It turns on all the interior dome lights. And then coming over to here, you can set some small paper product like a registration, business cards, stuff like that. Then you get your visor, you get a vanity mirror, but you do not get vanity lights. Does this side get vanity lights? No, vanity mirrors only. And then this is a Bluetooth mic pickup for your Bluetooth phone. You get the same thing on that side as well. And then now, taking a look at this, again, this is not the precision shift. This is the 6-seat configuration. So you get 2 cup holders. You get some miscellaneous storage space. You could set a key fob, and then some more storage space there. This phone spot right there. Padded armrest. Opening this up, taking this thing out of here, you probably get, you know, 2.5 inches of depth here, but then you get about 4 inches of depth down back there. And then you can set your business cards up top here, or you could set your business cards there. Maybe you could set, be it like a paper product there. So business cards up top there or on the bottom. Closing that back up, again, this also turns into a seat, as you may be able to tell. So that is that. That's kind of about it for what we got going on up here in the front seats. Now, there were a couple of things that I kind of did want to go over, but basically I wanted to highlight what you get as standard with the RST. So basically you get a 10-way power adjustable driver seat with power lumbar. You get heated front seats, you get a heated steering wheel, you get a dual zone climate control, you get automatic emergency braking, you get forward collision alert, you get lane keep assist with lane departure warning, as well as a few other things. A couple options you may want to consider getting. I'm going to group both of these 2 options together because you do have to get the other option when you opt for one of them. So if you get the safety pack, you got to get the convenience pack. So those are 2 options I'd recommend you look into getting, because it really doesn't necessarily break the bank. You know, between those 2 options is about $2,900, but then, you know, you get pretty much everything that you need and more. So basically with the safety package and the convenience package 2 option, I'm going to throw what you get with that on screen, but basically a couple things I'm going to highlight. You get the Bose sound system, you get the universal garage door opener, you get the blind spot monitoring, you get the front and rear parking sensors, you get the power rear window, the 360-degree view camera system, as well as everything else you can read on screen right now. Now I'm going to throw the entire window sticker on screen. You can take a look at everything that you get as standard. You can take a look at the 2 options this vehicle has. You can take a look at the fuel economy. But basically, I'm just going to highlight the MSRP. So the MSRP of the way that this particular 2024 Silverado RST is spec'd is $58,985. Let me know what you think of that price in the comment section down below. I'm very curious to hear what your opinion is on that price. But I want to show you what we got going on here in the rear seats before moving into the driving portion of the video. So let's see what the door panel looks like back here. This is what the door panel looks like back here. Again, you get automatic down windows in the back. You do not get automatic up windows back here, but you get a window that goes all the way down. You get a nicely padded armrest. You get your door handle, good amount of miscellaneous storage space, and a speaker. This is what your second row seats look like. That is what that looks like there. It is a 60-40 split, 60 being on the driver's side, 40 being on the passenger side. When you lift this thing up, you get tons of flat storage space. So let's say you have a dog, right? And your dog likes to go for rides with you, like my dog does. When you flip this thing up, you can see you don't get that partition storage space, which is a good thing if you have a dog, because your dog's going to be very comfortable and it's going to have more space rather than having that partition storage space where they're only going to be having that much space. Now they have the entire rear that is flat. So very, very nice. Definitely appreciate that because I have a dog. Then you get a poop handle or O-poop handle over here on your B-pillar. Same thing on that side as well. Folding this back down, step in. So I've done many videos with the new Silverados, and as you can tell, I'm adjusted behind myself. I'm 5'9". I've got plenty of leg and knee room. Here's another view of my leg and knee room, just tons and tons of it. Up top here, you get a spot you can set your dry cleaning. You get your dome lights up top here, both of which are LED, by the way. Then you get another dry cleaning spot on the passenger side, an O-poop handle there. And I gotta say, these second row seats are definitely very comfortable. You do get a seat back pocket behind the driver's seat. You get a seat back pocket behind the passenger seat. You get your household power outlet back here. You also get 2 HVAC vents, a USB-C port, and a USB-A port. I can tell you, I got tons and tons of headroom. Like I just was just mentioning, these second row seats are very, very comfortable. They got very nice padding to them, and I could definitely do a very long road trip here in this second row. I almost want to say that these second row seats are more comfortable than what you get in the front row. So, you know, we've talked about the exterior, we talked about the performance, and now we've talked about what's going on here in the interior of this vehicle. So I want to see what this thing's like to drive, as I'm assuming you guys do as well. So I will see you guys in the driver's seat. All right, now on to the driving portion of the video. Take a listen to the 5.3. The 5.3 is plenty powerful and it sounds great. The only thing I do not like about the 5.3 is the fact that it comes with dynamic fuel management. And that basically turns this thing into a 4-cylinder at some point, which is no good. You know what I mean? Give me the worst fuel economy for the reliability. I would much rather have the reliability long-term than better fuel economy. That's just kind of the way that I would be. You know, I think I'm not the only one, I think, who would agree with that. You know what I mean? Like Ford does the same thing. Ram, I believe, does the same thing. And that's what's killed the reliability of American V8s, is the dynamic fuel management system. It is the cylinder deactivation. It's just, it's not as reliable as it once was. And yeah, it might get a little bit better fuel economy than before, but really, I know a lot of people would much rather have a reliable power plant than a little bit better fuel economy. You know what I mean? How much fuel economy does it really save? I don't know. Or how much fuel does it really save? I don't know. But I do know that I would much rather have a reliable V8 than, you know, something that, you know, gives me the cylinder deactivation with a little bit better fuel economy. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just the way that I feel, and I know that's the way a lot of other people feel as well. And, you know, I don't think it's necessarily, you know, the car manufacturers. I do believe it's the EPA pushing that kind of stuff, you know, down our throats, better fuel economy, electric cars, and all that kind of stuff. I think there is an agenda behind that. I can go down a long rabbit hole about that, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to save that. I'm going to spare you guys for today's video, and I'm just gonna stick to the review because I can go on a tangent about that kind of stuff. But anyways, this is a very nice vehicle. But one thing I will say, what was I gonna say? No, I was gonna say this is a very nice vehicle, but it's, what I meant to say was it is very expensive, I believe, for, you know, what it is. You know, it is a nice vehicle. Like I said, you get the nice screens in here. You get a very nice looking vehicle from the exterior's perspective. You get the power driver seat. You get the heated front seat. So really, at the end of the day, you have everything that you need on this vehicle. I do wish it had the center console, but I do actually like how the GM gives you the option of not having the center console and having the 6-passenger configuration, because I know there are a lot of people that like to carry around 6 people, need to carry around 6 people, and just prefer having the 6th seat here, or the bench seat up here at the front end. So I do appreciate GM for giving us the option of having this versus the center console. And it's just a very nice riding vehicle. It's a very good handling vehicle. Like when you do the body roll test, yes, you can feel a little bit of body roll, but that's what you expect out of a truck. But I think the Silverados and these Sierras, in my opinion, are some of the best handling trucks as compared to Fords and Rams. That's just something that I've experienced. But, you know, they also go over bumps well, but I would say maybe the F-150 has maybe just a little bit, and I mean just a little bit smoother of a suspension. But again, that's where, you know, the Silverado does better around turns, whereas the well, I was watching that guy up there, but the Silverado does better around turns, but the F-150 is just a little bit more comfortable. So between the two, I do like the suspension of this better, just because it handles better around turns and stuff like that. There's not as much body roll and slop as you find on like the F-150, but it still is very comfortable. Now when it comes to the seating, I do feel like GM, as time has gone on, has made their seats more comfortable again, whereas it was more comfortable in the early 2000s, and then they firmed them up a little bit too much, and now they're making them a little bit more comfortable, as something, you know, again, that I've experienced, but it's still not quite as comfortable as like F-150 seats. F-150 is definitely the king of half-ton seat comfort, for sure. Even Ram, I'd say Ram and Chevy are about the same when it comes to seat comfort, but Ford's just edges them out just because their seats are just very, very comfortable. That's like sitting on a couch. It's definitely very, very nice. But sound system is actually pretty dang good for this being the standard sound system. If you wanted the Bose sound system, you would have to opt for the convenience package 2, which would give you a better sounding sound system, and I'm always a fan of better sounding sound systems. So again, I mentioned this, but I'm going to reiterate it again because I know some people skip to the driving portion of the video. I would say that if you don't want to break the bank, but you want a couple more options than what you get as standard, get the convenience package and get the safety package. Those are two packages that are going to run you about $2,900, but those are like the two packages that I think you should get. You get the 360 camera system, you get the universal garage door opener, you get everything that you can see on screen right now. So I do believe that those are two good packages to get if you're not trying to break the bank, but you still want something that's just a little bit nicer than what you get as standard. Those are two options that I recommend. But this thing rides very, very well. Like I said, it takes bumps very, very well. It's very quiet here on the interior. I know we have not driven this particular one on the highway, but I've driven these extensively on the highway, and they cruise very, very well. They're very well insulated from the outside world. So this is overall really nice looking truck. And with the RST, you have the option of getting the 2.7, the 3-liter Duramax, the 5.3-liter V8, and the 6.2-liter V8. So you have a ton of different engine options with the RST trim level. So yeah, that's kind of about it for today's video. If you guys did enjoy the video, please be sure to give that guy just did a nice little fishtail. I'm not sure if that got caught on camera, but that was pretty cool. But yeah, that's it for today's video. If you guys did enjoy the video, please be sure to give this video a big thumbs up. Please hit that subscribe button. I'm on my journey to 100,000 subscribers, and I cannot get there without your support. You know, I put a lot of time and effort into making these videos, so I'd really appreciate it if you all would just take 1 second. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up. Leave a comment in the comment section down below. The likes and comments look very good for my channel in the YouTube algorithm, so I would really, really appreciate it. Last but not least, if you guys have ever watched, you know, all of my videos, which some of you have, some of you have not, you guys know that one time, it's always the Mustangs. They're either passing you. I got passed on this road by a Mustang, and then I saw a nice little fishtail literally in the exact same spot that Mustang passed me. So just a little funny thing. But again, that's it for today's video. I will catch you all in the next one. Peace.